The empty brunch, the scent of cardamom and fresh cinnamon rolls was heavy in the air. I, Elara Vance, had spent all of May 12th preparing my apartment, not just for Mother's Day, but for my son, Damian, and my daughter, Serena. They were due at 11 a.m. I made sure to lay out the blue floral tablecloth, Serena's favorite, and chilled the sparkling cider. By 1 p.m., the coffee was cold and the mood was colder. No calls, no texts. I sat alone at the perfectly set table, staring at the 3 plates. I knew they were busy professionals, but Mother's Day, it felt like a deliberate slight. Another year where their lives simply didn't have room for the person who built those lives. That evening, I did what I always did. I packed up the leftovers, swallowed the disappointment, and told myself they'd make it up to me. They never did. The 10 p.m. interrogation, the phone rang just as I was settling in to watch the nightly news, 10:07 p.m. It was Damian. "Mum, look, I'm so sorry. The meeting ran late. Major deal." "You know how it is," he said, his voice clipped and hurried. A flurry of background noise suggested it. He was far from a major meeting. "It's Mother's Day, Damian," I replied, keeping my voice even. "Yeah, I know. Listen, that's actually why I called E-barreled, on bypassing any sincere apology. Serena and I are in a bit of a tight spot. We need you to float us $15,000. My breath caught. $15,000. For what? It's for the new app launch. Serena jumped in on the extension, sounding breathless. We're this close to getting seed funding, but we need to pay the developers by tomorrow morning or the whole thing collapses. We'll pay you back next month, promise. With interest. They sounded desperate, but a little too rehearsed. The thought that they had skipped Mother's Day, not for work, but to plan this financial ambush, made my stomach clench. "I need to think about this," I said finally. "Mum, we don't have time. It has to be tomorrow," Damian pressed. "Then you'll have to wait until I can meet you both," I countered. "We'll meet for lunch on Wednesday. Not a penny moves until then." The social media detective that night, I couldn't sleep. $15,000 was a significant chunk of my retirement savings accumulated after 40 years as a primary school teacher. I tried to believe them, but the emptiness of the day combined with the urgency of their request was a bitter pill. I decided to do something I hadn't done in years. Check their social media. Serena's Instagram was a glittering testament to a life I didn't recognize. She wasn't at a business meeting. She was on a yacht. The geo tag was Cabo San Lucas, and the picture was dated today. The caption read, "Sipping margaritas and sealing deals. Best Mother's Day ever." An obvious inside joke with her friends. I scrolled to Damian's profile. He was there too, in the background of Serena's photos, lounging by a luxury pool. A photo posted 30 minutes before his call showed him clinking champagne flutes. The location, the resort bar. My hands began to shake, not from anger, but from a devastating sense of final clarity. Their major deal was a weekend of indulgence, and the $15,000 wasn't for developers. It was likely to cover a luxury trip overspend. They hadn't just skipped Mother's Day. They had lied about it to fund a party, and now expected me to pay for the hangover. The consultation the next morning, I did not call my children. I called my lawyer, Mr. Henderson. "Elara, you sound upset," he said. "I am," I told him, detailing the Mother's Day event and the subsequent discovery. "I want to change my will completely. I want a new power of attorney, and I want to set up an irrevocable trust that they can never touch." For years, I had designated my entire estate to be split equally between them. Now, I designated a local women's shelter as the primary beneficiary of 80% of my estate. The remaining 20% would be split between my two children, but only after they reached the age of 50 and proved financial stability. A small but powerful change. I also asked Mr. Henderson to help me set up a separate private bank account and transfer the bulk of my liquid savings. The Wednesday dinner. Wednesday arrived. I booked a private room at the Gilded Spoon, the most expensive restaurant in the city. When Damian and Serena arrived, they were beaming, clearly assuming the setting meant I was ready to hand over the check. "Mum, this is incredible," Serena gushed, kissing me lightly on the cheek. "I thought we could celebrate," I said, offering a small, cool smile. After the appetizer, Damian leaned forward. "So, about the money, we really need to wire it tonight." I didn't answer him directly. Instead, I pulled 2 manila envelopes from my purse. "Before we discuss your request, I have a few things I need to clear up," I said, my voice steady. I placed the first envelope in the center of the table. It contained printed screenshots of their Cabo trip, the resort bills, and the infamous Best Mother's Day Ever. Caption: This is what an app launch looks like now, I asked, looking directly at Damian. Their faces drained of color. They stammered, trying to invent an excuse, a side trip, a necessary networking event. Don't, I cut in. I know. The lies stop now. I pushed the second envelope across the table. It contained the notarized copies of my updated will and the irrevocable trust documents. You came to me begging for $15,000 2 days after abandoning me on Mother's Day, and after years of treating me like an ATM, I have given you both over $75,000 over the past decade. And what I get in return is a lie about a yacht trip and a cold phone call. I took a deep breath. I have changed my will. 80% of my estate is going to a charity that helps women who have been abandoned by their families. You will receive 20% held in trust, contingent on you reaching an age where you might, perhaps, understand responsibility. Damian slammed his hand on the table. You can't do that. That's our inheritance. It was, I corrected calmly. It was a gift, freely given, but you forfeited it through disrespect and deceit. Serena started to cry, but her tears felt more like frustration than genuine remorse. Mum, you're ruining us. I stood up, adjusting the jacket of my favorite suit. No, my darlings, you ruined the mother who loved you. I am simply saving the woman you left behind. I placed a final, small envelope on the table. Inside is $1,000. Not a loan, but a final severance gift. For you to pay your immediate rent or your credit card bill or whatever crisis you think you're in. It is the last money you will ever receive from me, voluntarily or otherwise. I walked out of the private room, leaving the check and my 2 shocked children behind. The move to Seaglass Bay 2 weeks later, I sold my apartment, moved my life savings to the new account, and relocated to a small, bright condo overlooking the ocean in a town called Seaglass Bay. I sent my children one final text. I love you both, but I needed to teach you that my love does not come with a $sign. I have started a new chapter. I never got a reply. Now, I volunteer at the local library, paint watercolors, and drink coffee with genuine friends who know my worth, not my net worth. When Mother's Day comes around next year, I won't be setting a table for 3. I'll be walking on the beach, free and complete, enjoying the life I chose for myself. Would you like me to write a different version of this story, perhaps focusing on a different emotional beat?